You know, I used to think that healing meant just learning some new habits, things like eating better, exercising more, or thinking more positively. Those are all great habits to have. Amazing. But honestly, for me, healing didn't really start until I started unlearning some things. Now, this episode isn't about advice. It's just me sharing some of the beliefs that I held on to and how they were quietly hurting me. But before we dive in, though, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so that we can continue on this healing journey together. And if you're new to Healing in Progress, I want you to know that we're all about healing, growth, and learning to love ourselves through the process. So guys, today I want to talk about the 5 things that I had to unlearn to progress on my healing journey. Now, you may have more than 5 things that you have to unlearn. You might have less, but here are my top 5. One of the biggest things that I had to unlearn was that needing rest meant that you were lazy. I grew up in a time that if you weren't doing something, you were considered lazy, shiftless, even trifling. I thought that if I wasn't helping or doing something, that I was wrong, that something was wrong with me. On top of that, I had lifelong sleep issues. So I was always tired, always overwhelmed. And I felt guilty, honestly, for the way that I felt. But what I'm learning now is that rest isn't guilt. Rest isn't about being guilty or lazy. It's all a part of your healing. And some days, for me, rest doesn't look pretty. It just looks like doing less and letting that be enough for the day. The next thing I had to unlearn is huge for me. I had to unlearn that my weight equaled my worth. Guys, I've had a weight problem my whole life, and I was reminded of it in some way every day. I was reminded of it at home. I was reminded of it at school. Hell, I was reminded of it even at the grocery store. And for the longest time, I let the scale decide how I felt about myself that day. So if I stepped on the scale in the morning and it was a good number or I had lost a pound, then I was proud of myself. I was motivated. I talked nicer to myself. But if the number wasn't a good number, and back then it usually was not a good number, I would punish myself. I would beat up on myself. I would speak negatively to myself. And to be honest, that mindset did more damage than any number on the scale ever could. Now I'm learning to focus on behaviors instead of punishment. I focus on how I'm showing up. And I focus on how I feel in my body, not what it looks like. Because my body is not a problem to solve. It's something that I'm learning to take better care of every single day. And part of my healing was to lose 160 pounds. I would not have been able to lose that weight without the proper mindset. So remember, don't equate your weight with your worth. It's not a thing. It's the best way I can say it. It's not a thing. Now, the third thing that I had to unlearn was that if I'm struggling, I must be failing, right? So, whenever we learn something new or trying to learn something new, if we struggle with it, we think we're not good at it, right? We think that we're failing at it. And I used to think that progress meant that I should be moving forward all the time. I thought it meant that I should feel good all the time. And if I didn't, I assumed that I was going backwards or that I was stuck. But struggle doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong. Sometimes struggle just means that you're doing something new and you have to get into the rhythm of it. You have to learn it. You have to make it a habit. Okay. So hard days don't erase your progress. Hard days are a part of your progress. Guys, number four is one that I am still working on today. Number four, I had to unlearn to wait for motivation before I started something. Guys, I'm going to tell you, if I wait for motivation to start a project or a chore, anything even, I would stay stuck. I would still be 415 pounds. I would still be soaked in depression and anxiety. I would still be stuck where I was. Now, on low energy days, I aim for the bare minimum, and that's okay. I don't I don't punish myself for not doing more. I aim for progress, not perfection. Um, some days I just aim for something. So, also, let me share another thing with you. Motivation never shows up before I start a project or a goal. It usually does not show up before. It usually shows up once I'm already in the middle of that project. But once it shows up, I'm on fire and it's motivation to keep going. So remember that it may not show up before, but once you're moving and doing what it is you're trying to do, motivation will kick in and it sets you ablaze. Okay, the last one, number five. Number five is going to hit hard and deep for some of us. I know it did for me. Number five, I had to learn the idea that I should be healed by now. You know, sometimes we get to an age where it's like, okay, what's wrong with me? How come I'm not healed? How come I'm not over this? Or sometimes we have an educational level where it's like, I should be able to deal with this, or I have a title, a big title with the company, so I shouldn't be going through this. No, that is absolutely incorrect. I thought that there was some sort of timeline that I had missed. I thought that there was some finish line that everyone else had reached except for me. And that absolutely was not the case. Healing doesn't have a timeline because it's a relationship with yourself. It's you developing you. So it doesn't have a timeline. It could take as long or as short of a time as needed. Some days I feel strong. Some days I'm tired. But both of those days are a part of my healing. So just remember, you're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days, ups and downs. But don't give up. Don't walk away. Don't throw, as my mother used to say, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You have to keep going and you'll find that you get through it. In the end, you get through it. Guys, I want to be really clear about something. Unlearning things is not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen all at once. It takes time, practice, patience, and prayer. Some of these thoughts still show up for me from time to time. I just notice them sooner and I respond differently. Now, if you're unlearning things too, I want you to know you're not behind, you're growing, and that matters. Guys, before we wrap this up, I want to ask you if this message resonated with you in any way, let me know in the comments. Tell me one thing that you're trying to unlearn for your healing journey. And I want you to know that you're not on this healing journey alone. We're in this together. We're healing in progress, and that's more than enough. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in this week. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate all of my new subscribers. Everyone has been amazing. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the support. But remember, do the work, show up for yourself, and prioritize your mental health. Guys, be blessed. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.